Hey guys, vid number 2 for the day. Back to Basics! The Back to Basics Handbook, a guide to buying and working land, raising livestock and enjoying your harvest, household skills and crafts and more. And I'm going to hold this up because that is going to be the cover of the video. Okay. Rediscover the pleasures of a healthier, greener, and more self-sufficient lifestyle. This is the reason why we got into homesteading. Why did we create Faith First Farm and Homestead? Why did we want to get into homesteading? There's the reason. For a healthier, greener, and more self-sufficient lifestyle. That's the reason why. And he's all purry. Meow. Anyone who wants to learn basic living skills, the kind employed by our ancestors, and adapt them for a better life in the 21st century need look no further than this eminently useful guide. Aww. Really? Hi. Aww. Chloe Boots is being all lovey. He's coming up to me. He's rubbing his face on my face and he's purring. Really? You're so cute. Meow. What? You're such a vocal kitty. He wanted to get into the video too, apparently. Meow. He's purring. I don't know if you can hear him or not, but he's purring. I think he's becoming my baby. Aww. You're so cute. Say hi, Boots. Meow. Is that you saying hi? Hi. Hi. Meow. Okay, I think he's gonna go find something to eat. Okay. With hundreds of projects, step-by-step sequences, photographs, charts, and illustrations, the Back to Basics Handbook will help you plant a vegetable garden, graft trees, and I need to learn how to do that. Raise chickens and make treats such as blueberry peach jam and cheddar cheese. We're in for a treat here, huh? With clear, easy to follow instructions, the truly ambitious can challenge themselves by designing and building a stone wall and even constructing a livable log cabin. Baby! What? What's the matter? You don't need to go out there to find food, baby boy. You have food in here. I love you. He's all purry. He's all purry. Look at him. Aww. Purr. You're so cute. More than just practical advice, this is also a book for dreamers. Even if you live in a city apartment, there's no reason why you can't, for example, dip candles and make your own soap. This is the ultimate concise guide for voluntary simplicity in the modern age. Alright, here we go, guys. Back to basics. Part 1. Land, buying it and building on it. A house, we like to believe, can be a noble consort to man and the trees. The house should have repose and such texture as will quiet the whole and make it graciously one with external nature. Frank Lloyd Wright from the National House. Okay, here we go. This print's kind of small, so. The homes of the settlers conformed naturally to the great architect's precepts. People built slowly in those days over generations, and they understood their land as only those who spend their lives on it can. Their building materials were the very stuff of the earth around them, trees from their woods, rocks from their fields, adobe mud beneath their feet, and so it was small wonder that their homes blended well with the surrounding countryside. Above all, they built their homes themselves, each miltered, each each mitered beam, each length of floorboard, each hand-riven shingle took on a special meaning of its own. In land, buying it and building on it, the process of creating a home the traditional way is described, from the acquisition of a site to the construction of the house to the installation of walls and outbuildings. Some of these jobs are difficult, others are within the capabilities of the average person, all help impart a personal touch to a house. In the final analysis, that is the ingredient that makes a house a home. Here we go. Buying country property. Realizing the dream of owning a place in the country. Alright. Actually, guys, I think I know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to break this down into a lot of different videos. Maybe. Nah. Realizing the dream of owning a place in the country. With careful planning and a modest investment, almost anyone can turn the dream of owning a small farm or a few acres of country land into a reality. And with some effort, this land may provide a significant portion of life's amenities. Wood for the fireplace, fresh produce for the table, a pond or for fishing or swimming, even water power to generate electricity. But as with any other major purchase, care and caution are required. The first step is to have, in general terms, a strong notion of what it is you want. Those desiring year-round warmth will obviously have different priorities than those who wish to see the seasons change. Prospective part-time farmers will look for one kind of land, whereas weekend sojourners will look for another. Whether you enjoy isolation or prefer neighbors nearby is another consideration to ponder. I wouldn't mind not having neighbors around here, really, because our neighbors kind of suck. Except for the one down the road. And of course, there's a matter of money, how much you could afford to put down, how much you can pay each month for a mortgage and taxes. Once you have made these decisions, pick an area or two to investigate. Get the catalogs of the Strout and United Farm real estate agencies, and look for ads in the Sunday paper real estate section. Also subscribe to local papers from the regions of your interest. These may provide lower priced listings plus information on land auctions. When a property appeals to you, investigate. First by phone and then in person. When looking, do not neglect small matters such as television reception, the contours of the land, and the style of the farmhouse. But never lose sight of your ultimate goals or basic priorities, and gauge the property in that light. To buy or not to buy, resist that impulse. Once you have found a piece of property that appears to meet your needs, resist the temptation to come to terms. This is the time for an in-depth investigation rather than a purchase. After leaving the parcel, think about it, talk about it, try to remember its contours, and list all the things you do not like as well as the things you do like. If after a week or so the land is still as appealing, arrange to spend an entire day tramping about it. Walk slowly about the property in the company of your family. Among the subjects of discussion should be these. Is the ratio of meadow to woodlot about which you have in mind? Does the woodlot consist of hard or soft woods? The former are generally more valuable as timber and fuel. Is the meadow overlain with ground cover indicating some fertility? Is it swampy? Is there a usable residence on the property? If not, can you afford to build? Is there a road that cuts across the property into a neighbor's driveway? If so, there is likely to be an easement on the parcel, conferring on the neighbor the right to cross at will. If there is no electricity, gas, or telephone service, ask yourself honestly how well you can get along without these conveniences. And if your goal is to be part-time farmer and full-time resident, check into employment possibilities in the area. If the answers to most of these questions are satisfactory, then begin a more formal survey of the property. For those who plan to grow vegetables, grains, or fruits, the question of soil fertility becomes a major factor in any ultimate decision. Take a spade and dig down, way down, in several widely scattered places. Ground that is adequate for good crops will have a layer of topsoil at least 10 inches deep. 12 or 15 inches deep is better. The topsoil should be dark, and when handled, it should feel soft, loose, and crumbly to the touch. If the topsoil seems rich enough and deep enough, make doubly certain by taking several samples to the nearest county agent. He can analyze it for acidity, pH, and mineral content and tell you what crops are best to grow on it. Another way of discovering what crops the soil will support is to find out what the neighbors are growing. If the farm over the fence has a healthy stand of corn and a thriving vegetable garden, the chances are good that the land you are looking at will also accommodate those crops. When walking the land, look for evidence of soil erosion. Gullies are a sign of erosion, as are bared roots of trees and bushes. Parched, stony, light-colored soils indicate that erosion has carried off the rich topsoil. If you are only planting a small kitchen garden, erosion and lack of topsoil can be repaired. But if extensive cropping is your goal, the cost of restoring scores of acres to fertility may be beyond your reach. Check the drainage capacity of the land. If the subsoil is so compacted or rocky that it cannot quickly absorb water, then the plants you sow are likely to drown. Also bear in mind that poor drainage can make it difficult to install a septic system, since sewage will tend to back up or rise to the surface. Oh, it's really? Inspect the property in the wake of a heavy rainstorm. If the surface is muddy or even very spongy, it is a sign that drainage is poor. Dig several inches around and 3 to 4 feet deep. Check the soil near the bottoms. If it is hard packed and unyielding to the touch, chances are it is relatively impermeable to water. Or pour a bucket of water on the ground, wait 10 minutes, and dig to see how far the water has penetrated. For the most accurate information, a percolation test by a soil engineer is necessary. If you are planning on building a house, carefully inspect possible construction sites. Baby! The land for the house should be reasonably flat with access to a public road. Do not overlook the site's relationship to the winter sun. A house with a northern exposure, particularly if it is on a slope, is likely to cost considerably more to heat than one with a southern exposure that can take advantage of the warming rays of the low-lying winter sun. Finally, there is an all-important matter of water. The lack of a reliable source of water for drinking and irrigation can make an otherwise desirable site worthless. The subject is discussed in detail in the next section. In all events, try to delay a commitment until you see the land in all seasons. Both the blooms of spring and the snows of winter can hide a multitude of evils. Buildings are important, but water is vital. In assessing country property, the most important single consideration is the availability of adequate supply of fresh, potable water. With water, virtually anything is possible. Without it, virtually nothing. Consider, for example, that a single human being uses 30 to 70 gallons of water per day. A horse between 6 to 12, a milk cow about 35, and a 500 square foot kitchen garden, if it is to thrive, must have an average of 35 gallons of water per day. Even if the property is to be used only as a country retreat, a family of 4 will require a bare minimum of 100 gallons of water every day for such basic needs as drinking, washing, cooking, and sanitation. In short, complete information about water availability is an imperative when assessing country property. This is not to say, however, that a piece of land should, in all cases, be rejected if the existing water supply is inadequate, since in most instances a water system can be developed. Nonetheless, this can be an expensive, laborious, and time-consuming effort, and it is far more satisfactory if a water system is already in place. Baby! What? What, buddy? Little purr buddy? What? Stinker? Existing systems. there is a well or other water source along with plumbing in the house, in and out buildings, in the outbuildings and at the fields, test the system out as completely as possible. Try all of the taps one at a time, several at once, all at once. Is the flow sufficient for your purpose? Does the water pressure drop significantly when several taps are on at once? Has the water been tested for potability and for minerals? Baby! Hang on, guys. Baby! Come here. He's purring. He's purring. He's so cute. Hey, hey, baby. Hi, honey. Hi. Hey, hey, hey. Stinker. Gotta try to finish my video. Yeah. You're so cute, Boots. Okay. Has the water been tested for potability and for minerals, particularly salt? Water with even a relatively low salt content may be useless for drinking or irrigation. Baby. Stop. You don't need out there. No. All right. No. Now stop. All right. Above ground water. A river, stream, brook, or pond on the property may provide adequate water, particularly for irrigation. A freshwater spring bubbling up from the earth can usually provide drinking during this drinking water, but again, such sources may dry up during the summer. If you plan to use a river or pond for recreational purposes such as swimming or fishing, make certain the pollutants from logging operations, sewage treatment plants, and factories are not being dumped upstream. Pollutants, of course, can make the water unusable for irrigation as well. Check with local and state authorities on the amount of water you may take from the water from a water course. Also make sure that the source is properly positioned to allow you to get the water from where it is to where it will be needed. Honey, you do not need out there right now. All you're gonna do is get in trouble. Stinker. Baby. No. Also make sure the water source is a stream below a building site and garden plot will be useful only with the installation of pumps. Even one above these areas may require siphons and considerable piping if it is to be useful. Marshlands. Though marshes and swamps indicate a high water table and under the proper conditions, a possible pond site, they are considered negative factors by most builders, since they provide breeding grounds for mosquitoes and other insect pests, and the land is useless for construction unless drained and filled. Hey, get away from that. No, get down. Be good. Public water supplies. In a number of rural areas, water is supplied by an outside utility company. Some utilities are owned by the government, others are owned privately with rates established by law, and still others are associations of landowners who have pooled their resources to bring water in from distant sources so that they can irrigate their lands and provide for themselves and their livestock. Hookups to any of these water utilities can be expensive and, in the case of the Landowners Association, impossible to obtain. It may be, however, that the owner from whom you are obtaining the land already has shares in the local cooperative water association. If so, make sure that the transfer of these shares is included as part of the purchase price and that you know in advance the amount of water to which your shares will entitle you. Water rights. The fact that a parcel has water either above ground or underground is not necessarily a guarantee that the owner has the right to exploit the resource. In some states, even underground water must be shared. Before purchasing any property, have your lawyer check on your water rights. Sizing up the house and barns. The extent and condition of improvements play a large role in determining the worth of any piece of property. Direct access to a county highway via well-maintained internal roads is a major factor when considering a piece of land. A house, barn, and other outbuildings in good condition, the presence of primary utilities, and a central heating system all add to the market value of any parcel. When assessing improvements, look beyond the appearances and into such matters as structural soundness, electrical service capacity, and the age of the heating system and the relationship of the house to the winter sun. First, examine the house as a whole. Is it big enough for your needs? Does it afford sufficient privacy? Does it appear to be well maintained? Very important is the placement of the house. To take full advantage of the low-lying winter sun, it should present a broad front to the south and have a large proportion of its window openings facing south. Look at the windows themselves. Sorry. Are storm windows and tight-fitting screens installed? Make notes as you move along the outside of the house and as you inspect the inside. Check for wood rot both inside and out, using an ice pick to jab at the beams and supports. If the pick goes in easily, there is probably wood rot, an expensive condition to repair. Look for signs of termites and carpenter ants, particularly along the baseboards of the ground floor and in the exposed joints in the basement. Also check the main fuse box to see if the electrical service is sufficient for your needs. Modern service is at least 100 amps at 240 volts. Then inspect the water heater as to age and capacity. A 4-person family requires a 30-gallon gas water heater or a 50-gallon electric model. As you move from room to room, look up and down as well as around. Stains on the ceilings are evidence of what recent replastering may mean roof leaks. Horizontal stains on the lower part of the basement or ground floor walls indicate flooding. Finally, hire a building engineer for an in-depth analysis. The deficiencies he finds may not necessarily be overwhelming, but they could provide you with a strong bargaining position for lowering the price by thousands of dollars. Many people considering a move to the country seek out the charm of 18th or 19th century structures. Real estate agents recognize this and often emphasize that a house is 1 or 2 centuries old. Generally, it is best to verify such claims. Some tips on what to look for in dating a house are given on the opposite page. Alright. Alright, the resources are books from George Nash, Old Houses, a Rebuilder's Manual, Needham Heights, Massachusetts, Prentice Hall, 1979. Orme, Alan D. Orme, Reviving Old Houses, over 500 Low Cost Tips and Techniques, Avenel, New Jersey, Random House Value, 1994. Patricia Poor, ed. The Old House Journal Guide to Restoration, New York, NAL Dutton, 1992. Gerald E. Sherwood, How to Select and Renovate an Older House, New York, Dover, 1976. Okay, so that was it for that one. And the next one out of here is called Planning Your Home. The key ingredient in home design is you. So, that was it for that one. So we've got one book down for tonight. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited, you guys. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and get off from here real quick and get this up there because I really want to get into more of the books. It's 6:45 on my end right now. Guys, please make sure you drop the comment for a new subscriber package. I really, really, really want to get these out to you guys. I really do. I'm really anxious to be able to get these and get them out to you guys. My downfall is coffee. Okay, so make sure you do your research, you guys. It's very important. All of this stuff is so important. And this is the reason why I'm getting into all of the books basically, because it's just so important. The other books that I found real quick: Herbal Cures for Common Ailments, Valerian for stress and anxiety, Passion Flower for insomnia, Don Quai for PMS and menopause, Saw Palmetto for prostate problems, Feverfew for headaches, Ginkgo for heart disease, Anise for asthma. I don't know who you are. Garlic for diabetes, nettle for allergies, and cayenne for colds, and much, much more. So there's that one. And then I found the Raising Beef Cattle for Beginners book that I have. And then Quail Farming for Beginners, everything you need to know. And then this is the Deep State Behind the Shadow. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything on this one. I really don't. I might. I don't know. Depends. Anyway, so do your research, you guys. Again, it's very, very important. And check your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed. And click that notification bell. Click on all so you get all the notifications. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. And watch our videos. Like and share the videos. Watch them. Share them. Share them on down the line. You guys have... I will see you in a little bit, guys. Thank you. Bye.